With some question marks and injuries to the wide receiving core during the preseason, the Carolina Panthers have decided to make a move, and they pulled the trigger and completed a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs. With the result of a pick swap in the 7th round of the 2025 draft, they were able to add Ihmir Smith-Marsette, wide receiver formerly from the Minnesota Vikings and the Bears, but also from the University of Iowa. This is a young player who's only been in the league for a few years and has had limited opportunity, but after looking at some of his film, he has some potential, and I think he can definitely carve out a role with this Panthers team. Before we get too deep in it, my name is Aaron Duncan with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Recap and analysis of the Panthers is what I do, so make sure you are subscribed to get videos just like this where I break down new players and look at some of the film. I'll be doing film breakdowns throughout the season, along with live streams and podcasts and stuff like that, so make sure you tune in and also give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the algorithm. But also, if you want to see more in-depth analysis like this to make yourself a little bit more educated as a Panthers fan and get some in-depth stuff that you can't get anywhere else, consider joining the Patreon at patreon.com/UB Sports Talk. The best way to support the channel, but also get extra content in terms of film breakdowns, weekly extra live streams as well, and behind the scenes content and stuff as I continue to cover this team. And it's a long season ahead, but if you want to get more in-depth stuff, join that Patreon and support the channel. So I'm going to call him ISM just for short because pronouncing his name is a mouthful and I don't want to butcher it. But this guy shows a lot on film. We've seen, if you've seen a lot of QB school breakdowns or any of my film breakdowns, you've seen that some of these receivers, they do struggle to get open. And I talked about my concerns about teams potentially just playing man coverage. I don't think it'll be a factor week 1 with the Falcons because they don't play a ton of man. But a team like the New Orleans Saints in week 2 runs a lot of press man coverage and will challenge you. Without any kind of dynamic receivers on the outside, teams are just going to line up, play man coverage, stack the box, and challenge these receivers and weapons to get open. And there were some struggles during preseason doing that, so the Panthers decided to do what they could, and they brought in a guy like ISM. ISM, he's just a scouting report on him. From my opinion, this dude has great speed. He can get downfield. He's a deep threat, but he's not just a deep threat. He has a good job with a lot of subtleties in his route running, giving a lot of head nods and sticks, and just good footwork to be able to get open. He excels versus press coverage as well. He's a little bit light in the pants at only 185 pounds, so some concerns with being more physical corners that might line up with him. However, you could play him in the slot to be able to free him up that way. You could play him on the outside as well. He played 57% of his preseason snaps in the slot with the Kansas City Chiefs, and with a guy like that with that type of speed, he had a great preseason with 9 catches on 10 targets, 195 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm really excited about him because with his route running, he doesn't lose a lot of speed coming out of his breaks. When you're running routes full speed, some receivers, they have to hunker down and slow down to do sharp 90-degree cuts when they're running like an out route or in route or a corner route or whatever. This guy does not lose any speed out of his breaks, and that allows him to separate, creating separation. Yes, Bryce Young is a very accurate quarterback, and the testament to his anticipation and his ball placement has been documented by many experts. However, if you have guys that can't get a lot of separation, it still makes it difficult. You do not want to put all that on your young rookie quarterback. So a guy like ISM can definitely carve out a role, use that speed to get open. So let's go ahead and get it to the tape. All right, this first play, ISM is going to be lined up at the top as the wide receiver here. And this is going to be a really crazy route. He's going to run about a deep in route. It's going to be about 15 yards. And he's going to break in on the square end, but he's not going to run full speed and go straight across. He's going to kind of hunker down into the zone coverage to not run himself into coverage. This is a great job of running this route, but he's going to slow it down at the top. I love this because he runs the route with tremendous speed to eat the coverage, the cushion up, that the corner is giving him, but he also doesn't lose any speed once he makes that hard, sharp 90-degree square end turn. A lot of receivers, once they're running at the speed like that, they're going to have to throw on the brakes, slow down a little bit, and when they make that break, they have to lose a lot of that speed that they have. That usually gives defenders a chance to close that gap when you slow down and make turns. But when you're a receiver, you can come out of your breaks full speed. You're able to create great separation, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Beautiful. All right, so let's run that back from the top. So like I said, look how fast he eats up that cushion. The corner is bailing. As soon as the corner thinks it's going to be a go route, boom, boom, boom. Look, he comes out of that break with just as much speed as he had when he was running. Look, he doesn't lose a ton of speed. Boom, boom, boom. And look at that separation when he comes out of that break. Because the corner is bailing. The corner, he's running so fast and so far downfield. Once he gets to 15 yards, the corner starts to think this is going to be a go route. And he's going straight downfield. But he breaks it off, three steps. And he's out that break, still with full speed, but hunkers down. So this underneath defender right here can't get to him. Gets the ball right on his chest. Now let's get busy after the catch. I love this play from him, man. Whenever you have a guy that can come out of his breaks like that, it's a tough thing to cover. Next play is going to be similar thing. He's going to be the single wide receiver down here at the bottom. But this time, instead of breaking in, he's going to break to the out route. He's going to do the same thing with just as much speed. This time, he's facing off coverage. And watch how he closes this gap. This corner is about 8-9 yards off of him right now. But watch how he steps on his toes. When you say step on the toes, that means you run as full speed as possible to eat up the cushion that the corner is giving you. And then once you get on pretty much on his toes, you break on your route there. Once you break on your route there, especially with the type of speed that he has coming in and out of those breaks, it's almost impossible to cover when you run this route like this. You want every route to look the same. You want to come off the line and have the defender thinking you're going on the go route, but then as soon as you get a chance to step on his toes, you break off on the route and you do it with full speed like he does. Like I said, not a lot of receivers run routes like this to the point that they're able to come in and out of their breaks with this kind of speed. And that's why he's able to separate so much. Boom. Look how much room he creates. The corner is completely off balance because by the time he's there in front of him, he's breaking an out route with full speed. The corner is squatting. Look, the corner is squatting. And he's full speed. The corner squat. Look, he squats, makes him take a false step, but look. Boom. He steps on his toes. The corner is stuck in mud pretty much. And look how much separation he creates. 2-3 yards, giving the quarterback an easy throw. He throws a little bit earlier. He may be able to get up the sideline a little bit quicker, but I still love him getting vertical as soon as that happens. I love that energy after the play as well, man. Let's watch it one more time. Watch him eat up that cushion. How fast it goes from 9 yards. Boom, 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 boom. Look, it took him, 15 yards to eat up all that cushion. And look, he's already on the toes. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Get out that turn. Get your head around because we know Bryce is going to anticipate and throw this ball early. Bryce is probably going to throw that ball right now. And so Bryce gets it out. By the time he gets out of that break, Bryce will probably hit him a little bit earlier because, look, he's turned around. There's 10 yards of space to throw. That ball is late, but he's created so much separation, it doesn't matter. The defender doesn't even have a chance. Great play for a huge gain. All right, so this play, ISM is going to be lined up in the slot, and he doesn't really get the ball on this one, but I want to show you this route running because it's very similar to what the Panthers do. I think most teams in the NFL run these deep crossing routes, but what he's going to do, he's going to stem inside. When I say stem, he's going to take those first couple steps inside in order to get position because right now he's head-to-head with this corner, but he's going across the field coming to the far side, to the close sideline, so he wants to put himself in position and put that defender on his left. And so he's going to stem inside for the first 2 steps, square up, and then break on the inside. And this just change of pace, and the way he runs it is almost impossible to cover. The defense has safety help on the other side, so that kind of covers up the mistakes. But the way he runs this, I just love the pace that he runs his routes with, man. And like I said, this is a similar route that we have in our system, so I expect to see him be able to run the same thing. Stems inside, scores up, and then boom. You really get to see the separation that he creates from the other angle. Let's watch it from here. He's going to be coming. He's not in the screen right now, but you're going to see once he stems, those first 2 steps inside. Look, he stems. That's what I mean by stem. The first 2 steps, he came inside to get himself in position because they were square up. Those first 2 steps, now he's got inside position. Square it up. Now he squares up for a couple steps, and boom, throws that foot in the ground. Look at that. Look at that separation he has from the defender. Look at that separation. 2-3 yards. The safety's help is there, so the quarterback doesn't go there, of course. But like I said, this is just the type of routes that we run a lot. We see Thielen run it. We've seen Chark run it. We've seen Mingo run it as well. This is a staple of a lot of systems now. So being able to see him run this route with this type of speed and precision, I love it. I love it. Like I said, he didn't get the ball there. Boom. But he separated from the guy. He just had help over the top. And obviously the pressure as well. So it is what it is there. But let's watch it one more time from the zoomed out. Stem inside, get vertical, boom. I love the way he ran that route. All right, so this is in the second preseason game. He's going to be in the slot, the middle of the three receivers up top. He's going to get deep here. Similar concept. He's going to be man coverage, but he's going to stem inside and break off to the corner. But I want you to see the subtleties and the nuances of the route running that he does, because once he gets to the top of that route, before he breaks out at a 45-degree angle on the corner route, he's going to fake like he's going to the post inside, and that completely loses the defender. It's really a beautiful route. This is nasty, actually. Look at the top, fakes to the post, and loses the defender, gets over the top. Ball's a little late and it hangs in the air. Would have been a bigger play, but I still love it, man. And that energy is always there. You'll see that separation from this camera angle right here. Ball's a little late, but look at that. Look at that separation. That guy's on the 50-yard line and ISM's on the 45. There's 5 yards of space, and the safety is even further away. The ball just hangs in the air and gives him a chance to catch up. It's still a big play nevertheless, man. We're over the top. I want to run it from this angle one more time just to show you those subtleties at the top of the route. So stems inside to get that position, to make him, once you go inside to get that inside position, just like the other route that we saw where he went across the field on that crossing route, corners are thinking once you get that inside position that you're going to be breaking inside, and that's exactly what he wanted them to think. But look at that little head fake. Look at that head fake. Just one hard step inside at the top of that route makes that corner lean. The corner's leaning because he thought he was going inside. Look, now the corner's off balance. And look, I told you about not losing speed once he comes out of those breaks. Not losing speed when he comes out of those breaks. Big play. Love it. Love it. Love it. So this time he's going to be in the slot again, but I want to show you this is not a big play. He can do some underneath things as well. Just demonstrating that he can play all the positions that we may want him to play. We've seen the outside plays. We've seen him inside going deep and running certain routes and running crossing routes. Here's something a little bit shorter and underneath and showing off his yards after catch ability. He's going to be in the middle receiver right here, but he's going to run a whip route. We called it a whip when I was in school. You run inside and you kind of pivot and go outside. He's going to kind of make it a little herky-jerky. I mean, they may call it a fake jerk to a whip to whip it out, but he's going to pause, throw some hesitation. Those little nuances that I talked about with his route running that he really excels at really are on display here. Hesitates, boom, breaks outside. Now breaks a tackle. Now let's get vertical, young man. Woo! Somersault. That energy is there, man. That energy is there. We'll watch it from this angle just to see him break the tackle, and then we'll run it up from the top. That hesitation. Look at that speed. That linebacker thought he had the angle. Brace one tackle. Look, he thought he had the angle, just too slow. And now we're doing a somersault into the end zone. All right, let's run it back from the top. So let's watch this little hesitation. Hesitate, boom, get outside. That suddenness to get out of those breaks. Boom. That's all the space he needs to create to get vertical and get after the catch. Man, this guy is a ball of energy. He's got some speed, got some juice. They wanted some guys that can separate after those concerns that we've seen in some of the games with guys struggling against man coverage. He can definitely find a role because he can do things like this and separate. He has some speed, man. I like ISM as an addition to this team. As you can see, man, this guy is very dynamic. Like I showed you, the separation that he creates on deep routes, on short routes, on crossing routes, underneath, has a little yards to the catch ability, and that energy that he brings can't be denied. I know the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid is all about letting your personality show, and even Frank Wright had to talk about saying how much of a fireball he was and just showing the energy. And I showed you myself after all those big catches and how excited he is just to be playing football. So I think giving him an opportunity here, I'm not going to be coming here and be a wide receiver one, but I definitely think he brings something to the table that's different from any of the other receivers we have in this room. This is definitely an upgrade to some of the other guys that we had at the bottom of our receiving core, and I think he can do some things and carve out a role. I'm sure Bryce Young will enjoy having a speedster like this on the team. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about ISM on the team now, and for it to be only a conditional 7th round pick swap, How do you feel about the value of the trade? Do you think we got a good deal? Let me know down below. Without further ado, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything. Check that Patreon for more bonus content. Of course, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.